Hi, I'm Ed Kulikowski with the Kent County Sheriff's Department. I used to work at the Children's Assessment Center, and today I'm here to read a story with my friend.
I'm Alicia, and I'm at the Children's Advocacy Center. And today we are going to be reading Some Secrets Should Never Be Kept. In a land not so far away lived a brave little knight. Sir Alfred, for that was his name, lived in a teeny-weeny cottage with his mother, Lady Susan. Lady Susan had once lived in a fabulous and glamorous life, but since her divorce from Sir Alfred's father, they were now quite poor. Lady Susan worked very hard day after day, cleaning the largest castle in the land. The castle was owned by the rich and famous Lord Henry Votnar. Because Alfred was only a little knight and couldn't stay home alone, he always went to Lord Henry's castle after school. While Lady Susan continued to clean and scrub, Lord Henry offered to take care of Alfred. Lord Henry and Alfred got along famously. They were like two peas in a pod. Lord Henry was friendly and funny, and together they played Catch Me If You Can in the castle gardens. When Lord Henry caught Alfred, he would tickle him all over, and then the game would begin again. But one day, when Alfred's mother was cleaning a far corner of the castle, Lord Henry started to tickle Alfred in a way that made him feel uncomfortable and sick inside. The tickling wasn't fun anymore, and sometimes Lord Henry tickled and touched Alfred's private parts, even when Alfred asked him to stop. He did not. "Come on, Alfred," laughed Lord Henry. "It's just a bit of fun. There's no harm in a bit of tickling." But warned Lord Henry, "You must never, ever tell anyone about our tickling game. It must be our special secret because," continued Lord Henry, "if you do tell, I'm afraid your mother will not be able to clean my castle anymore, and you will have no money for food and clothes, and it'll all be your fault, Alfred." Poor little Sir Alfred felt sick with worry. He knew some secrets should never ever be kept. Secrets that made him feel bad and uncomfortable. Secrets just like this. But if he told anyone, his mother would lose her job, and they would have no money, and the worst bit of all, it would all be his fault. That night, little Sir Alfred went home with a very heavy heart. He did not eat his supper, and he barely spoke a word to his mother. He crawled into his bed feeling sad and lonely, the secret heavy in his heart. The next morning, Alfred told his mother that he didn't want Lord Henry to look after him anymore. Lady Susan glanced at him briefly and just smiled. "Don't be a silly Billy. Everyone loves Lord Henry. He is one of the nicest and kindest men in the world. We are very lucky to take care of you." But that afternoon, when Lord Henry came to the school gate, Alfred felt sick to his tummy. He felt scared and very confused. He didn't want his mother to lose her job, so once again, Lord Henry tickled him and touched his private parts. When Alfred arrived home that evening, he felt so ill that he went straight to bed. As he lay in the dark in his room, he cried and cried. Great sobs lifted up and out of his heart. He felt so lonely and so frightened. From her rocking chair in the kitchen, Lady Susan could hear Alfred sobbing. She stopped her knitting and went straight to her little son. "Whatever is the matter?" she asked, but Alfred did not utter a word. If he told his mother his terrible secret, she would lose her job and they would have no money and no food. Lady Susan hugged her little boy in a loving and gentle way. She held his face in her hands and looked deep into his eyes. "There is nothing you cannot tell me," she said. "Nothing at all. I have always told you, Alfred, some secrets should never, ever be kept." Poor little Sir Alfred was so confused. He didn't know whether to tell his mother or not. What if she didn't believe him? What if she lost her job and he was to blame? Finally, after many tears and lots of warm hugs from his mother, little Sir Alfred decided to be brave. He decided to tell his terrible secret. Once he began, his words tumbled one on top of the other. He told his mother all about the tickling and the touching and how uncomfortable and sick it made him feel. He told her that Lord Henry said he must keep this secret and that if he told anyone, Lady Susan would lose her job and they would have no money and it would be all his fault. Lady Susan hugged her son very tightly and rocked him gently back and forth. At last she wiped away both tears. "You are the bravest little knight I have ever known," she said. "And what Lord Henry did to you was very wrong. You were right to tell me, and I am so proud of you. Remember, there is nothing you cannot tell me. I am always here to listen to you, and I will always believe you. You have done nothing wrong." Lady Susan promised Alfred that he would never ever have to see Lord Henry again, and that he would be gone from their lives forever. As punishment, Lord Henry would be banished from his castle in the kingdom. She also told Alfred that she could earn a very fine living by knitting sweaters for the rich and famous and selling them at the local market. Later that night, as little Sir Alfred lay snug in his warm bed, he finally felt safe and very loved. He was proud of himself because he had found the courage to tell his mother. He knew now for sure that no matter how awful or scary the secret, it should never, ever be kept.
What do you think that the best thing that Alfred did?
I think the best thing that Alfred did was telling.
I think it is too. Alfred was very brave that he was able to tell his mom that this had happened. No child should have to feel that they're uncomfortable or that they're scared or that they can't sleep at night. And it's reassuring to know that Alfred did come out and tell his mom.
Absolutely. And I think it also is telling that what happens if something happened so long ago? How scary that must be for Alfred to be able to tell his mom now.
Right. And with that, we have to understand that sometimes it takes kids a while to tell their secret, but it doesn't make a difference if it's a week or 2 weeks or 6 months or a year.
Absolutely. And that weight, that heavy, dark secret that they're carrying around all the time can start to be lifted, start to be shared. And maybe as people, like their safe adults, believe them when they tell, they can start to feel better and better and get the help that they need to start healing from this, because it's never kids' fault.
It's never a kid's fault. And kids have to understand that there's a lot of safe adults that are out there that they can tell, whether it be a school resource officer that they have at school, or a grandparent or a grandpa or somebody in their life that they trust and that they can talk to. And so hopefully this book is a lesson to some of these kids that are watching.
Absolutely.
If there is any other information that you need in regards to this, or that you have heard and you need more information, please look at the bottom of the screen and use the contact information. There's plenty of people that are out there to help you. Thank you for watching.